As we discussed today, West Africa must wake up and brace up to run the rice race in a bid to make rice self-sufficiency a reality in our region.
And what can Africa do, and what can we do to support the vision of Africa's self-sufficiency? We are very excited about it.
Bangkok is closer to Lagos than Kano to Lagos. Because from the harbor, because the transport of 1 ton of rice from Bangkok will take only $100, whereas the transport by truck from Kano region down to Lagos will be about by $250.
Self-sufficiency is a reality, not a fantasy. It may take some time. It does need a lot of investment, and we do need to integrate and include women and youth in the production and processing of rice in the region.
What is the rice race exactly?
The rice race is an initiative by UPL to call for action to public and leaders from the public and private sector to join our effort for Africa rice autonomy.
So, what does UPL do exactly in this initiative?
UPL is leveraging on its complementary package of rice seeds, crop protection and crop nutrition solution to help double the yield on 600,000 hectares across 6 countries in West and Central Africa.
What do you bring in terms of innovation, technologies and approach?
We are bringing hybrid rice seeds. That is an innovation. That is a game changer for Africa rice. We are also bringing new training. We are bringing a package of crop protection and nutrition solution so that farmers can tap into this package to be able to unlock productivity, unlock production, and also improve on the livelihoods.
My name is OUGFALY BADJI. I'm the lead global food security specialist working with IDB since now 10 years. I'm mainly, focusing on food security aspect, and we are keen to join the rice race. We just realized that rice production is ineffective, low yield, poor quality of paddy, and high cost of production. Rice productivity is poor. Land productivity is less than 55% of world average yields. Labor productivity is less than 60% compared to Asian and Latin American countries. And then we need to appeal the ability to African consumer that was very compromising. We need just to shift from quality of paddy leads to poor rice bran, mixed impurity, and to move into a uniform grain size. The value chain aspect need to be efficiently leveraged to unlock the massive production potential of the African continent. We need to continue to drive large-scale dissemination of productivity, raising technology support, and using science and technology tailored to the African context. And then we need to enhance public agriculture research. And then we need to address systemic constraints that could improve multiple value chains. And we need to ignore the bed of farm. We don't ignore the bed of farm. This is a key to secure a vulnerable farmer. And then, rather than working in silos, we need to include regional markets. They are very critical, even to the most vulnerable government, and we need to put the private sector as a central focus. The bank is really keen to engage in establishing a strong regional investment within Africa, and then to develop a kind of strong investment plan for accelerating rice self-sufficiency using the value chain approach, but we need to smarter coordinate between government and stronger partnership with the private sector and technical partners. And then, if you look at what we are doing at the bank, we need to just capture the effort of CGRs, identify their networks, work with National Research Institute to build sustainable rice investment program. We need also to identify priority segments on the regional rice value chain for investment and to enhance the involvement of private sector in order to enable job creation and regional market share in global rice trade. The race and the rice is just to be put together. We are keen to be in this rice race.
But I believe in Africa, we need to set up demonstration farms. We need to set up extension activities. We need to go work in the universities and train young students. And companies like us would love to hire them and help them to live in the villages and give them work with farmers to bring in improvements. I believe this is the standard, very proven way to develop agriculture.
So you said, June the rice.
Right.
You have many industry associations, which is quite interesting because it's all the rice players who come together to risk manage and share profit. It's quite a very powerful institutional platform, and I think it will be important to build on those mechanisms.
Join the rice race.
We want to collaborate closer with the private sector and de-risk these value chains, this specific value chain for the private sector, so that they would be willing to invest in local production as opposed to, sourcing from importing from outside. And so we're approaching it from a perspective of, how can we incentivize the commercial providers of finance, private sector, the mills, and all the value chain actors to work with smallholder farmers to the benefit of smallholder farmers, to get them to increase their incomes from, production at their level. As FarmFit Fund, or as IDH, we typically do not prescribe how they do it, but we generally also subscribe to the notion that, organizing farmers to operate at scale would be sufficient, because then we can, work with them, collect data, and create innovative financial solutions that really suit the particular value chain. And then we look at that whole scenario and, go a step further by then, taking the highest risk position to ensure that we can get participation from the value chain actors, the off-takers, the financial institutions that fund the off-takers and the like. But I think the common thing that we have is we will also convene and work together with private sector, to get this value chain working.
Join the rice race.
Join the rice race.
My name is Jean-Paul Aka. I'm an agronomist, engineer, and founder of LOCAGRI. LOCAGRI aims to promote local agriculture, to participate in food security and economic development on the Africa continent. LOCAGRI set up an inclusive business model to support small rice producers with innovative and sustainable solutions to improve rice productivity and usher the marketing of the rice in the local market by creating jobs for the women and young along the rice value chain. We want to modernize the rice production in Africa to achieve self-sufficient. So you said, join the rice.
If you want to see Africa thrive, join the rice race.
Africa has all the necessary natural resources and human capital to become independent with its rice production and building stronger local supply chains, generating economic growth for all. Thanks to its long-term presence and recognized expertise in rice production, UPL is taking a leading role in the rice to stimulate rice production and smallholders farmers' livelihood in Africa through its provision of hybrid seeds, improved agricultural inputs, and extensive training programs. We have a huge potential to change the game here. So are you ready for the rice race?
So a farming model which is with the involvement of thousands of farmers is key and critical for our operations going forward. So that is something which we want to expand, and we are in the process of expansion on this outgrow programs for all our milling facilities. And we will continue to increase the farmer base for that. And also along with that, one of the other major critical factor in all these programs are that you need to have a consistent policy prevailing in the country. Say, for example, if you take Nigeria, the policies are quite stable and consistent in the past couple of years. So it has done extremely good for the country, especially for the producers, which are the farmers, then to the processors, and even for the consumers to get a good quality rice for consumption in the domestic market itself. And sustainability is at the center of all these activities. Now we need to get a sustainable supply of rice, and also without having much of an impact into the environment or communities wherever we work. We are Ola, and we want you to join in the rice race.
If you believe in food security, join the rice race.
My name is MUIA. I am the regional head for ADVANTA for Africa and the Middle East, based out of Nairobi. Our global CEO is very much committed to the rice initiative. Just to underscore the importance of this, he is heavily involved in sort of reviewing the progress that we are making with what we internally call the WOCA for West and Central Africa Rice Initiative. In addition to that, we have brought on board a rice expert to steer our regional rice initiative. We are, as mentioned earlier, working with a number of partners, both governmental, private sector, to sort of bring actors to, bring expertise, put in resources, in the rice sector in a number of geographies in Africa. We are working to training and exposing over 100,000 farmers right across the rice value chain to the benefits of hybrid technologies. We are conducting trials in a number of countries right across Africa. We are ADVANTA Seeds International, part of the UPL group, and we urge you to join the rice race in Africa.
Oh.